Hey, hey, how's it going? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so I just wanted to like do a little check-in here. Um, and I had a thought the other day, and it was like, well, it wasn't like this. The thought was happiness. It's like the little things, because I was just sort of observing how kind of messed up things can seem right now. Like if you want, it depends on how you're viewing the world, I guess you could say. Where I am, where I live, and especially in my particular little bubble, things are really calm. Like you wouldn't know there's bad and unhappy stuff happening in the world. From my vantage point anyway, things seem pretty normal. Life goes on like clockwork. But if you look at like broadcast news, or especially any kind of news adjacent organizations, or just, whatever people are posting online, you get a very different sort of view of things. And what you'll mainly find is stuff that is not uplifting, like people getting hurt in every way you can imagine, like wars, people arguing about the wars, about the validity of the war, like the who started it and all of that. And there's a lot of negative stuff out there, and if you sort of just only dwell in that area, you're not going to be happy. And so, and I think this goes beyond something like, grounding yourself, which, if you don't know, means literally getting your feet in contact with the earth, like without the shoes or anything, barefoot preferably, or, meditating or something like that. There is there's just a lot to contend with, and I'm just gonna bring up the good old birth contract situation, if you know what that is. uh and I'll just give a brief synopsis if you don't. It's the idea that before you're born, you plot your whole life path, including all of the people populating your life to come. So, and the reason why we're doing that is because we're here, and God, I just got some kind of liquid on my glasses. We're here to live out experiences, and we're fractals of the spirit creator, and its ability to experience everything that can be experienced. We're like its agents, we're its tools. So, okay, that's it. um, we choose what we're here doing, like in the birth contract portion of the life that, as I discussed. So, like, we totally did sign up for all of this. And if you, the other sort of portion of it is like remembering stuff, like why you're here, and like what I just said about being the agent and the tool. I feel like that's sort of different than what I was taught uh in in the religious sense. I mean, you are taught that, but it's a different way of looking at the issue, I think now. And um anyway, so it's not like we also are here to feel what we're going to feel about whatever happens, and it could be not a great feeling a lot of times. Like there's loss of people that you love and care about, or You could just be shocked by the violence of how people are coming to their end, like so many ways, in so many ways. I'm not even going to try to pinpoint just one, but and it's we can get like all wrapped up in the horror and the sorrow and the darkness of it. But the thing is like we're not meant to go into that experience and then get stuck in it like a tar pit. Like it's not healthy to have unproductive dark emotions just sitting in your gut like a cancer. You experience the thing and then you move on. Like you eat a food, you digest it, you poop, you move on. It's kind of we have all these repeating kind of processes, so it's like that. And because we don't remember that, like we set it up this way, we get stuck in the quagmire. But there's things to bring us out of it too, like animal videos. Just it for me, it just like takes my mind away from all of that completely. And that's a little thing that makes me happy. I mean, I'll be smiling at the phone screen or the television screen, and I'll see my reflection, and I look like the room was gassed with imbecile fumes. But it's good. It's good though. Even when I catch that, it cracks me up, and that makes me feel happier. So I think that we forget that, like we can pull ourselves out of stuff like that so easily. But if we have the intent to feel better, to feel happiness, then we can. Like there's no do you know if you just smile, even if you don't feel like it, and you do it once and you let it sit there for a minute and then you let it loose and then just do it a couple more times, it's like deep breathing. Like you do it a few times and it catches like a cranky lawnmower, like it takes a few tries to get it started, but your body will catch on like, oh wait, this is a good thing. So, I mean, it's something like that. You can literally change your mood, and it's good. It's always good to change your mood for the better. You feel better, people around you feel better. Like if you come into a room with people that are just sort of on neutral and you're like upbeat and happy, that is contagious. That is the kind of virus I would like to spread. And conversely, you can come in with sort of the low end of emotions and kind of have the same effect. But I mean, I vote for option A. Why drag everybody else down, Put that in your own pocket and deal with it on your terms. But I don't know. And now I'm just babbling. But yeah. And like I find that when I'm like more optimistic and upbeat, good things happen. And like I said, it's the little things. I think I've mentioned my interactions with the children of the other residents here. And sometimes it's great and they're friendly and fun and cute, and other times they're kind of like grown-ups. Not great, not fun to be around. Like unexpected things like come out of their mouths where I'm like, God, already you're sounding like that? Oh man. But I can have like a terrible interaction with one day, and then 2 days later they're talking to me like nothing happened and everything's great, and that makes me happy because I would rather the other people's children's those other people hear about a happier interaction between myself and their child, because I know everything gets back to them. I can just tell. I don't even have to have a conversation with them. Like I can tell when the energy has changed. Like if something with somebody's kid has gone wrong, the parent people are all like glowering at me, and I know that they've been talking. But then if it's good, Well, it's funny. Sometimes it's okay and it friendlies up the situation, but other times it seems like it kind of makes them mad. Like, no, don't have friendly feelings toward her. And, you know, I feel like I live in a dormitory, but thankfully I have my own apartment. um, or just like, this has been making me really happy since the weather's gotten better and it's warm enough to necessitate letting more of your skin be exposed, but all times of day I've gone out. It hasn't gotten too terribly warm here yet. I think it was 85 yesterday, and I had gone out at about that time, but thankfully, differently from how I grew up in Southern California, well, there's a breeze there too, but it's like a Santa Ana, and it does not help. It's already like 80s, 90s or more, and then there's a hot wind blowing. It's like who dreamed that up? Oh, I guess we did. I don't know, but anyway, it's a little different here where I am several hundred miles north of Los Angeles. I go outside, it's 84 degrees. I look out the window because my apartment stays nice and cool so far. Uh, and I think, oh man, it's gonna be hot. But I see a breeze, and I go out there. You can't tell it's 85 degrees. Like, to me, it felt, at least 5, 6 degrees less, and it's amazing. It's beautiful, and I love it. Although okay, never mind that. About the being outside though? When it's really warm, the sun and the air just feels so amazing on your skin, and there's plenty to look at here. I used to be a little looky-loo in LA, but you can't really be doing that because even back when I was a kid, people were real like, and I'm that way too. The people were like, don't look at my window. And I'm the same way. I just think, my God, that's somebody's house. Turn your head. Like, anyway. So yeah, going out when it's really warm, it's like going in the ocean. And not everybody will know about this, obviously, but sometimes you can go into the ocean and it just feels like it's your same body temperature, and then so's the air. So places with beaches, this will make sense. Warm beaches, and it's a weird feeling to be in like a total soup of yourself, like the same temperature. It's not a bad feeling, although like right now it's making me feel short of breath because I remember the heat involved, and in that particular situation, there's actual humidity in LA or. Obviously at the beach there's water, but weeds, let me get out of them. But like any time of day I go out there now, that is so beautifully temperate, and I just want to bathe in it for as long as my rickety old bones can hold up. Like this morning I woke up, took care of my cat, did his little, oh my, he's got so many rituals. But anyway, took care of him, and then he didn't want to leave, so I left him in the house and went out for a ride this morning at like 6:30 or 7. And it's like a weird day out. It's cloudy, but it's probably like about 2:00 p.m. right now, and the sun should be burning through, because that's what happens here a lot, is that until summer really gets rolling and it's just warm from sun up to sundown, there's cloud cover, and that can last, like lately it's been lasting till like 3:00 in the afternoon, which is crazy, but it's also staying dark until like 10, almost, last night it was like 11 o'clock and it was still light. And I don't think it's time for the equinox yet, the longest day of the year, or the summer. The summer, whatever. It's the longest, day of the summer for sure. And I haven't seen it. Like, I have a bunch of crap that I look at all the time that sort of tells you when those things are going to happen. I know it's coming, but it's not happened yet. Soon, must be, right? Anyway, Uh, yeah, it's just like a weird sort of. It's warmish, and there's definitely a humidity level, a humidity level. I'm sure that's in the air too. There's some humidity floating around in the air. But anyway, yeah. And it feels like the temperature can't decide if it wants to be cool or warm, but I don't think it has a choice. I think once the clouds burn off, it's just going to be warm. But whatever. Uh, but it was awesome being out there this morning. Like the very little traffic. I was gonna go to the market, and then the traffic kind of picked up. I should have. Excuse me. Should have left the house earlier. Well, I was still asleep. I mean, I literally got up, threw food at the cat, waked and baked, and went ambling out. And I wanted to get some fake meat, but they haven't had the patties. And I like the patties because I can either go with a sandwich or I can melt it. I can defrost it and then crumble it up as I need, for like a sauce or something. But every store I went to this week didn't have any. And then, like in Egypt, I didn't get the crumbles that my caregiver had gone to the store and went checking for those things. And I turned down the crumbles, and I was like, well, because I want to make tacos. That's the big story. And I went down there and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to cross that big boulevard. Like I'm kind of really baked and it's getting trafficky. So I decided I can probably figure out something at home to substitute, which I did, like fake breakfast meat, sausage links of the Morning Star variety for curious people. And I'll probably well, whatever, that'll be the base for some meat. I'll mix it with like beans or whatever to extend it. It'll be delicious, don't worry about it. But anyway, it was like the gardens that I like to pass and do my aromatherapy. They smell different in the heat, and then in the morning this early, it was probably already about 70 ish, a little less maybe. And they had a completely different scent that I hadn't really noticed. And I don't go out at night because I don't have lights for my little mobility trike, and it's low down. And if I'm going to be out, there's lights, but I think it's still just safe to have them on me if I'm going to go out in the evening, which I will be doing when it gets warmer. And just discovering the scent and that it was different, that made me stupid happy. I don't know why, but I'll take it. And I just want to wrap up here by saying that you may or may not know, I'm into cats. I'm into all animals, and for anybody who thinks that I'm like not like a dog person or any other animal really, my first pets were actually dogs. They just don't do alone time at home while you're at work very well, and I was busy with my job and my playing my music and everything that involves, including going out and being seen and going to rehearsals and doing your gigs and whatever. Sometimes if you're popular enough, you'll have publicity as well. I mean, it can be busy, so I knew I couldn't leave a dog sitting alone in the house. They got to be walked, and cats are kind of like self-serve. You can leave them for a while. It's not great, but anyway, what was I talking? Why did I bring up cats? Oh, the cat virus thing. I probably have it. Sure, I love cats. I definitely find myself like thinking, this cat is my master. Gosh darn it. I'm doing stuff like staying still when I want to get up and do stuff for like over 2 hours because the cat is sleeping on my chest and I don't want to disturb it. Okay. Sure, I have the cat virus that makes me serve it and worship it. Fine, but I also still like all of the other animals too. I'll say one thing about that virus. I think what it's done is, I think it's a heart opener. Like, I think you just want to be all lovey and snuggly like a cat and everything is cute. And that makes me happy. So, if you have a lot of unhappiness in your life, there are some of my tips for appreciation and ways to feel happy, but also if you're struggling, maybe get a cat. I don't think the virus, like they mention it, but I don't ever hear them saying there's anything really wrong with it unless if people think it's wrong to worship cats. And I lose that term in a joking sense. I do, like, as I said, often feel like the cat is my master, but I agree to that. I signed up for that too. So, anyway, thank you and good night.